Good morning.
Good morning.
This time I call the September 8th meeting of the Nash County Board of Commissioners to order. On behalf of the commissioners and the board and the staff, I welcome everyone to the meeting. We begin our meetings with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. For the invocation, you're welcome to stand and join us, or you're welcome to have your own individual prayer, or you could use this time for a moment of silence. Commissioner Sue Leggett will give the invocation, after which I will lead in the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Leggett.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we give thanks for this beautiful day that you've created and for the opportunity to serve in your kingdom today. Lord, please be with us today as we conduct the business of Nash County. Give us the divine wisdom, grace, and knowledge that only you can provide. We ask your blessing over this meeting today and over the people of Nash County whom this board serves. All these things we ask in your precious and holy name. Amen.
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 Would you join us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have 4 sets of minutes for approval this morning from our regular meeting of August the 11th, a recessed joint meeting with the Nash County Fire and Rescue Association from August the 12th, a recessed joint meeting with the Nash County Planning Board from August 19th, and a special call meeting August 28th. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Without objection, we will approve all 4 sets of minutes with one motion. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Moved by Commissioner Belfield. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilkins. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. The minutes are approved. Need to let the board know we've got one item to add to the agenda this morning. It'll be added after public comments as 5A. It will be presented by the county manager. It's the announcement of a new 911 communications director. Now we'll move to agenda item number 5, public comments. A time for public comments is provided at the first regularly scheduled monthly Board of Commissioners meeting. This time is for the public to provide feedback to Nash County government. We're glad to hear from our citizens and ask that all speakers adhere to the following guidelines. Each speaker will be given 3 to 5 minutes for comments with notification of time at 4 minutes. County Attorney Mike Gaynor will be our timekeeper. To avoid repetition, groups of individuals supporting the same position are encouraged to designate a spokesperson to address the board on their behalf. Speakers will be allowed to speak once at each meeting, addressing the board without reference to individual members and conforming to reasonable standards of courtesy. No dialogue between the speakers and the board should occur. Speakers must make comments from the audience podium and shall not otherwise approach the commissioners or staff without consent by the chair. Your comments will be noted, and if you have provided contact information, you will receive follow-up from our staff as appropriate. If you signed up to speak on a subject that is already on the agenda, for example, a rezoning matter with a public hearing, please hold your comments until this matter comes up. Finally, there should be no interruption from anyone in the audience, for example, clapping or talking, before, during, or after each speaker's comments. This will allow us to move forward productively. This morning we have 2 individuals that have signed up to speak, and they will be called on in the order that they signed up. Our first speaker is Dr. Kim Koo. Dr. Koo, if you would just state your name for the record at the podium, I would appreciate it. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Koo, and I live in Nash County, 220 South Englewood Drive in Rocky Mount. No one can deny any longer that this country is going through a prolonged, profound economic crisis. We face unrelenting inflation worsened by the recent trade wars. tariffs imposed on imported goods translate as another tax on us, the consumers. This recent trade war increases the squeeze on all of us who are already facing rising homelessness, ballooning debt, deteriorating infrastructure, hopelessness and despair from increasing poverty and decreasing lifespans. Unemployment or underemployment and stagnant wages erode our standard of living, while working people are working twice or 3 times harder to make ends meet. It is in this context that I want to bring to your attention that public school workers are in desperate straits. The classified staff, in particular consisting of bus drivers, custodians, secretaries, maintenance, and food service workers, are finding it increasingly difficult to make ends meet and getting harder every day. It is my understanding that they've been asking for reasonable wage increases. Whether it is classified or unclassified workers, blue or white collar, they all work together to protect and nurture the next generation. This is our future. You may think in terms of dollars and cents, but being a Scrooge now has huge implications for those coming after us. Quibbling over bonuses or passing the buck as to which group is ultimately responsible for supporting the races or not is disgraceful and irresponsible. As commissioners, you're supposed to be more far-sighted and to think strategically. Saving a few cents while putting our future generation of school children in jeopardy is the most foolhardy move. You need to give the public school workers all the support they need, whether it is in the form of adequate living wages or necessary equipment. This is an investment worth undertaking. The returns are unimaginable. I sincerely hope that you will do the right thing. The next generation in Nash County will remember you by how you act and your record in this governance. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Koo. Our next speaker, I apologize, I cannot make out the name. If you would just come forward and state your name at the podium, I would appreciate it for the record.
My name is Mumtaz Sheikh,
Thank
and I
you.
live in Nash County.
Thank you much.
County Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to be a voice for the dedicated school employees of our county who have fought a long and exhausting battle for simple dignity. I stand before you not with anger, but with a heartfelt plea for justice, to speak for the bus driver, the cafeteria worker, and the custodian, etc., the very people who make education in this county possible. Every single day, the bus driver navigates our streets, bearing the immense responsibility of delivering our most precious cargo, our children, safely to school. Our nutrition workers ensure no child learns on an empty stomach, and our custodians make clean and safe environments where learning can happen. These individuals perform back-breaking, crucial work. This and sometimes may earn a wage of $17.60 an hour, a number that in the face of relentless inflation is not a livable wage. It is a sentence to financial panic. I know you have heard their request. The suggestion of a bonus was a gesture, but it is not a solution. A one-time bonus of $500 is a temporary patch on a permanent wound. It doesn't pay the rent that increases every year. It doesn't cover the groceries that cost more every day. It doesn't fill the gas tank that gets them to their second job, the one many of them need just to survive. These workers didn't ask for a handout. They're asking for a hand up. They're asking for respect translated into the language of a sustainable wage. So today, I'm not just presenting a petition, I'm presenting a choice about who we want to be as a community. Will we be a community that praises its essential workers with words, but abandon them with its wallet? Or will we be a community that truly values them, that ensures the people who drive our children, feed our children, and protect our children can afford to live in the county that serves them? The power to correct this injustice rests with you. On behalf of every classified worker who feels unheard, every family that relies on their services, every citizen that believes in fairness, I implore you to revisit the budget. Find the will, find the way. Please grant these dedicated public servants the permanent raises they have earned and so desperately need. Do not let their years of faithful service be met with years of empty promises. Give them hope. Give them dignity. Give them a raise. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. That concludes public comments, so we will now move to agenda item number 5A and call on the county manager to present the information.
Ask Mr. Trimmer to come up here and join me.
Good morning, Mr. Trimmer.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are pleased to announce the promotion of William Bill Trimmer to the Director of 911 Communications. Mr. Trimmer began his career with Nash County in February of 2008 as 911 telecommunicator. Over the years, he has advanced through several leadership roles, including Assistant Supervisor, Supervisor, and Operations Manager. In July of 2024, he received the title of Deputy Director and served as Interim Director following the retirement of former 911 Director Bryant Fisher. In addition to his service with Nash County, Trimmer has been a volunteer firefighter since 1992. He served as Fire Chief of the Bailey Fire Department for several years and currently holds the position of Training Officer. Trimmer officially assumed his role as the new 911 Communications Director on September the 1st, 2025. Would you like to say a few words?
First, I, of course, want to thank the county manager's office for putting their trust in me to lead our amazing staff we have down there at 911. And I look forward to working with y'all and all the public safety agencies in the county.
Do you have anyone with you this morning you want to?
Well, from the office, I have Kelly Portis and Trip Bunn back there from the fire marshal's office. None of my family could make it today.
Any comments from the board?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Bill.
You're welcome to come visit. Reach out to me if you need anything.
Thank you very much. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we'll now move to agenda item number 6. I don't see the sheriff in the audience, so who will be making the service weapon award request? Chief Wilson? Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
It's my honor to represent Sheriff Stone in asking for the service weapon to be issued to Sergeant Stan Ricks. Stan Ricks began his career with the Nash County Sheriff's Office in November 1999. During his 25 years, he had been a canine handler for 3 different canines, Reno, Decca, and Pebbles, and he was assigned to the patrol, criminal investigations, and civil divisions. Sergeant Ricks has completed many hours of training to include the basic and advanced canine handler certification, a general instructor certification, a basic and advanced SWAT operations certification, advanced training certificate he's received from the Sheriff's Standards, and the FAA unmanned pilot license as well. In 2020, he received the life-saving award for rescuing victims from a car that had overturned and submerged in a creek. The Sheriff's Office is requesting approval to award Sergeant Ricks his service weapon.
Comments from the board? Sergeant Ricks is coming up, I assume. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Just want to make sure y'all were approving it before.
Well, we want to
I
see.
think you got it covered, sir.
We want to see you before we approve it. All right, no comments from the board is,
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Wilkins?
I just wanted to thank you for your years of service, and hopefully the service revolver is a reminder of all those years and your service to the Nash County community. So thank you.
Any other comments? Commissioner Davis?
I just want to tell Officer Ricks, I don't think I've ever seen him any more relaxed than what he appears to be this morning. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Other comments? Commissioner
I
Belfield?
just want to thank you for your service. You've been a good officer, and haven't heard any complaints, anything like that. So enjoy your retirement.
Any other comments?
I'd like to wish you the best in your retirement, and congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Other comments? All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Howell, second by Commissioner Davis. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. The motion passes. Congratulations, Stan.
Thanks, sir.
Board, if we may take 1 second, Captain Bowen has ordered, got a copy of the Longleaf Pine Award. If we could present that to him at this time as well.
Great, that's great. Yes, sir.
This time, we'd like to give the Longleaf Pine Award to Stanley King Ricks. That's the Longleaf Pine is the governor's highest award for civilian service, and then this award is presented for 30 years of service to North Carolina as well as Nash County. So the award, again, Longleaf Pine, Josh Stein, Governor, reposing special confidence in the integrity, learning zeal of Stanley King Ricks, presents the Order of the Longleaf Pine with the rank of Ambassador Extraordinary, privileged to enjoy fully all the rights granted to members of this exalted order, among which is a special privilege to propose the following North Carolina toast in select company anywhere in the free world. Here's to the land of the Longleaf Pine, the summer land where the sun doth shine. Where the wheat goes strong and the strong grow great, here's to the down home, the old North State. Governor Josh Stein, signed August 29, 2025.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations again, Stan. Do you have any comments you wish to make?
No, sir, just one real quick one. Mr. Belfield, just single you out for 1 second. I remember starting off here in the career with the sheriff's office, and one of the big things that we try to teach the young deputies, get to know your commissioners, recognize them, because you never know when you're going to meet them out and about on the streets. And working a few events just a few months in, remember you coming to a few of the events wearing bib overalls and just blending in with the crowd, and I was like, hey, that's Mr. Belfield right there. And I talked to you, and you're like, all right, I'm not gonna mess with him, I'm gonna keep on going. Just identifying the commissioners. I thank y'all for each and everything that y'all do, to the county, to me, to the agency, and continue the good work, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the future.
Congratulations again, Stan.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll move now to agenda item number 7, retirement recognition. Call on our Human Resources Director, Tim Kerrigan, to present the item. Morning, Mr. Kerrigan.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Each month, Nash County recognizes employees who are retiring from the county and all of their years of service. And this month, we only have one which is retiring, but certainly a special employee, one that is going to be a great loss to the county, no doubt, one that I work with closely. She's in the finance department, but also works so closely with human resources. All of the employees know her and love her and are going to miss her greatly. With that, I would like to recognize Wendy Rose from the finance department, 27 years of service. And certainly more than that with all the time that she spends at home and extra hours. So thank you, Wendy. And if we could, would we have a picture with her?
Absolutely, sir.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to bring her up here? And we'll let her sit in this chair, and we'll,
That'll be excellent.
yeah, we'll stand behind her. Madam Manager, you and... Mr. Attorney, would you like to come up, sir?
Sure.
Madam Clerk, would you please come up, too?
I know, right?
If you would stay at the podium for just a moment, I'm going to ask the board for any comments, and then I know you may have some comments, and you may want to recognize some individuals that are with you, okay?
Absolutely.
So comments from the board?
Wendy, I know your mother's proud of you, and you've made Nash County proud as well. So congratulations on your retirement and your joy.
Thank you, thank you.
Other comment? Commissioner Davis?
Well, without a doubt, I think everybody that works here would probably agree she may be the most important person that works for Nash County, particularly on what was a monthly basis, which is now turning into twice a month basis, but I certainly appreciate everything you've done for us. I know how very important, having run my own business for many years. I know what happens when the part that you were mainly charged with doesn't go well, and I think you've always made sure that it does go well, and I certainly thank you for that.
Thank you.
Other comments?
Just a simple congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoy.
Any others?
Thank you
Commissioner
for your
Belfield?
service, and enjoy your retirement.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
sure you're going to be asked to volunteer for different activities that go on. I know that happened with me when I retired.
Yes,
People
sir.
ask me, come on and help us do this, volunteer and do this. So get ready. It's going to be a challenge.
Any other comments? Would you like to recognize?
I certainly would. First of all, I want to thank the board for all your many years of service to the county, as well as looking after us employees. I mean, everybody says that I'm important, but we're all important. Everybody's important here, and I appreciate it. I have thoroughly enjoyed my 27 years here. Nash County is my home, and I feel like I'm just amongst family when I come to work every day. And I do have my coworkers are here. Also, Miss Donna Wood, would you please stand?
Amen.
And then Melanie and Susan and Melanie Eason, my coworkers. And as you all know, Donna Wood was my finance director for many, many years, and I'm very thankful that they're here. And also on the other side here, I have a whole row of my family that has come
Would you like to
watch
bring them
me
up for a
receive this.
picture?
Absolutely, if that is okay.
That'd be great.
Yes, I would.
I know they're anxious to come up for this picture. I tell you what, I'm going to kind of move so the background is clear. If you want to just kind of stand up here and nod the way so you can get a good picture.
There we go. Perfect.
Wendy, why don't you introduce your family?
This is my husband of
Start with the main man.
30 years, Todd Rose.
Right.
And with me I also have my dad, Roland Dale, and my stepmom, Ann. And on the side of my dad, there's my little sister, Laura. And then my best friend, Tammy. And over here is my aunt, Barb Sue, and my sister, Rhonda. We have several family members. We have one of my sisters streaming us from Paris this morning.
Great,
So,
great.
hello, Martha.
Well, congratulations again on your retirement, and thank you for your many years of service to Nash County. Let's give her another round of applause. All right, we're going to move to agenda item number 8, Trillium Annual Report. Call on Senior Regional Vice President of Trillium, Dave Peterson, to present the report, which is for information only. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
See
That's
you
a hard
again.
act to follow right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. So good morning, everybody.
morning.
Thank you for having me. Dave Peterson, Senior Regional VP at Trillium. I think this is like my 15th year, 14th year in front of you all, so glad to be here. I first want to start off thanking Commissioner Davis for being on our Regional Advisory Board, and also Tia, who's on our Regional Advisory Board, for all the input that they give throughout the year. So also in the audience, Annette Daughtry. She's the one that's here a lot in Nash County, so you may recognize her. So I want to go through this presentation. This presentation's a little bit longer, so I am going to skip some slides just to save some time. So let me, okay. So just a general overview. Transforming lives and building community well-being through partnership and proven solutions. We're the agency that oversees the people with developmental disabilities, substance use, and mental health. We serve the very severe individuals with those diagnoses. The state also recently just added individuals with traumatic brain injury to our population that we oversee. So we don't provide any direct services, but we contract out with a lot of different provider agencies. So when I was in front of you last year, we just started this expansion, and I'll say that I've been doing this a long, long time, and this is one of the biggest lifts I've ever seen within our state, okay? The state said that we needed to get down to 4 managed care organizations, and there were 21 counties that needed to consolidate into those 4 managed care organizations that were going to exist. It's a double-edged sword. We do such a good job that there was 4 of us, and those 21 counties, of those 21 counties, the state directed 18 of those counties to come to Trillium. And the other 3 managed care organizations got 1 county apiece. Okay? Let that one sink in.
Got it.
All right. So with that being said, we're the largest in the state with covering 46 counties. Total population of 3.1 million individuals. And then you'll see the numbers on that slide, the total number of individuals that are in a tailored plan, which are the ones that are the very high-risk individuals. And then 163,000 that have Medicaid Direct. And here's the scary number. We are still seeing that 287,000 individuals have absolutely no insurance, none, okay? See the map there of the light green counties that we cover now. In order to make sure that we continue to remain local, we have regionalized. We've had 3 regions before we consolidated, and now we're 5 regions. We have regional advisory boards, which Tia and Commissioner Davis serve on that. We have 5 consumer family advisory committees. And then we have 5 regional vice presidents, me being one of those. I also oversee the other regional VPs in the other regions. So it's probably because I've been here a long time, okay? So that's how we are broken up. This is just local connections. Like I said, Commissioner Davis and Tia, me being the regional VP, Terrell Alston, Nash Community Engagement Empowerment, and then as I introduced, Annette Daugherty is connected to Nash County. So just some numbers for you all. This is July through December, 57,000 individuals with a primary diagnosis of mental health, and this is for all of our counties. 18,500 with substance use, and 15,500 with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Total dollars spent, and this is just for half the July through December, was $802 million for those individuals. And keep in mind, these are individuals with very, very high needs. These are folks that are in the hospital. These are folks that are needing wraparound daily services, okay? So our tailored plan update, we went live with as a tailored plan, and the big difference, we've been serving the 3 disability groups for years and years and years, but we have never served an individual's physical health side. So if someone has asthma and severe mental illness, we're now serving the asthma piece also. If they have COPD or other physical health issues, we're now serving that whole person. Okay, so that's the big lift change from, and that started in July of 2024. You'll also see at the bottom of that slide, back in 2021, the state directed those 5 insurance companies to take over the low to moderate risk individuals for Medicaid, okay? So about 80% of our population moved over to those 5 called standard plan insurance companies, okay? Like I said, I had a lot of new slides in here. I'm gonna skip this one. You have that in your file. That's just some refresher information. This is the one of the total health plans, and this one basically has us as a tailored plan and the other 3 having 80,000 individuals. I'm sorry, and this is our plan, 80,000 individuals. You'll see Medicaid Direct, and we serve some of those individuals in Medicaid Direct, and I'll give you a really clear population. Currently, today, the Medicaid Direct individuals those are the kids that are in Nash County DSS therapeutic foster care. We currently serve those, okay? Keep in mind, the state has moved to 1 agency across the state starting December 1st, and that's Healthy Blue, Blue Cross. They are going to be serving your Nash County foster kids, okay? 1 agency statewide is going to be doing that, okay? So that population will no longer fit under us. With that, you see the numbers of the other insurance companies on how many they cover. And keep in mind, the number why we're smaller than the other ones is because there's a lot more individuals that are low to moderate risk in this group of Medicaid individuals, okay? This is specific to Nash County, and these are the numbers that are enrolled in Nash County. So we serve we have 8% of the Nash County population of 2,512 individuals. But you'll also see, like, Healthy Blue has 18%, United Healthcare has 15%, WellCare has 16%, AmeriHealth has 9%, and Carolina Complete has 13%, okay? So when you think about the individuals with mild to moderate mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities, we are not serving those individuals. Those other insurance plans are, okay? I say that, you all know me, I've been in front of you for many, many, many years. I would encourage you to get to know those other standard plan insurance companies because they're serving Nash County folks, okay? We did a bunch of town halls with those 18 new counties just to hear what they thought of us, okay? And what they wanted to get from their county so that we can help serve them better. And each county's different, okay? And there were some of the outcomes of that, you know, they wanted to make sure that they understood how we did requests for information or requests for proposals from providers. They wanted more communication. They wanted transition of care flexibilities. So on this slide, you'll see what those 18 counties were looking for from us. Just like I do with you all on a regular basis, I have other staff in other counties that are going out, getting to know the county commissioners, getting to know the sheriffs, the DSSs, the health departments, any of the advocacy groups, so that they can build those relationships that they hadn't had because we just got those new 18 counties a year and a half ago. Okay? So just quickly, some project updates. It was really good. Annette and I met with Tia about a month or two ago to kind of really drill down into what was Nash County getting and what was Nash County not getting, okay? And we really wanted to make sure that there is a lot more training that we're going to be offering in Nash County. And so we got a kind of a plan in place for that. I think about a month ago, Annette and I delivered the naloxone kits downstairs. There was a lot of them. So that's for the health and safety of Nash County individuals. But we're also doing reentry simulations for those to learn what it's like for an individual to walk out of jail and what they don't have when they walk out of jail, okay? And how this community can support them better when they walk out of jail so they don't end up back in jail. We do Chest Health is an app for provider agencies to connect with individuals with substance use and recovery. Hey, how are you doing today? It's a text kind of system so that they can not have to necessarily come into the office every time they're having issues. We do still have the mobile clinic, I think, floating around in Nash County. I hope it's still going. They rotate into other counties. That one's been a hit and miss, I will say, because if there's only one or two people utilizing it, we don't want those one or two people to stop receiving services, okay? So that we put into place probably 4 or 5 years ago. We do have empowerment summer camps for individuals, so folks are welcome to utilize those. Now let me just hit on specific Nash County numbers. Total members served were 2,271, 1,601 with a primary diagnosis of mental health, 484 with substance use, and 475 with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I always say those numbers don't add up to the 2,271 because people have a dual diagnosis. This is just our accessing services information that we have on our website, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah.
Commissioner Belfield?
Your basic concentration is what, funding and training agencies that may be dealing with mental health?
Good question. So our biggest concentration is we oversee the thousands of provider agencies that do the direct care, okay? On top of that, we are wanting to improve on our training in Nash County and offering more of that to providers, to the community, to regular stakeholders.
So you have a list here in Nash County of the providers?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Other questions, Commissioner Davis?
Oh.
Get you right back to you, Commissioner Wilkins.
Dave, the number you gave of what we spent to date first is an astounding number, as you well know.
Yes.
Do you find the other 3 districts or regions, are our proportions of what's spent versus number of people we represent constant, or do we have the easternmost having a larger share of what is spent, if you have some reasonable idea of that answer?
Yeah, it's pretty, you're talking across the managed care organizations,
Yes, sir.
not our individual 5 regions. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, it's pretty equitable because I will say one of the other managed care organizations, Alliance, as you see, we have 46 counties.
Right.
They have 7.
Right.
Okay? But they have Mecklenburg County and Wake County, the 2 largest in the state. So that population is a little bit different. But they also have Johnson County. All right? So they have some very small counties, but they also have the 2 largest counties in the state. So funding-wise, it's equitable across the state.
Is that based on number of people that use the services? Okay.
Yes, sorry, yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what it is.
I'm surprised it is similar based on number of people and not more directed where the more need is. But I was just wondering that.
Yeah, each one of the other managed care organizations has a large county in it. You know, our largest is Guilford, Greensboro, okay? Partners is Winston-Salem. And obviously Alliance is, you know, Raleigh and Charlotte. So, yeah, each one of those has one of those large populations, but each one also has very, very small counties.
Thank you,
Yep.
sir.
Good
Commissioner
question.
Wilkins?
I just had a comment to make. Mr. Peterson, you said 57,388 are being treated for mental health in the state?
Yes,
And then, okay, and 1,600 of those are from Nash County.
yes. Well, 57,000 in our total 46 counties. Okay?
Not
Yes,
not the whole state.
yes,
So not the 100 counties, 46.
yes. Yeah, we cover 46 counties, yes.
That's a large number. Do you know offhand if that is mostly, say, because of life's troubles or problems, or is it tied to drug use?
That's a good question. Okay, now this is just Dave Peterson talking now, okay? I have a feeling that, you know, we're going to continue to see, because of all the education that's happening out there on mental health, okay? You see commercials 10 years ago you'd never see.
Right.
All right? So now there's more awareness of it, and it's the awareness is in the schools, the awareness is out in the community, and therefore, more people, because of trying to reduce the stigma, are saying, hey, I have asthma. Everybody there's no stigma to asthma.
Right.
Hey, I have severe mental illness. There should be no stigma to saying I have severe mental illness. And therefore, more people are reaching out to get services.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Other comments, questions? Commissioner Howard?
Just a question, Mr. Chairman. Does these numbers, kind of to Commissioner Wilkins' point, how do we rank as far as other states, or is there an impact, I guess, with a large presence of military bases in North Carolina? Do we have a larger number of those mental health cases due to some of those service members coming back and here as well, or are our numbers matching up with other states?
Yeah, I'd be hesitant to say that was one of the factors, but it probably is because of the military bases that we have here. But I will also say we do work closely with those military bases on supporting that population. We do have a liaison internally at Trillium that served, and he is our conduit to the veteran population. So is that one of the factors? It might be, but I don't want to guess at that one. So.
Other comments, questions? Commissioner Harrington?
Yeah, you stated that there were 287,000 uninsured individuals. What percentage of that is in Nash County?
I'm not going to guess at that one. Okay. My father was a math teacher. I didn't inherit that gene.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I guess the next question is, what's the process? What happens to those uninsured individuals that have mental health and all those same?
No, Commissioner, that's a really good question. So the state dollars that we get so we have federal dollars and we have state dollars. The federal dollars are tied to those who have Medicaid, okay? The state dollars are tied to those that are completely uninsured, all right? Here's the kind of the thing to think about is when the legislators are looking at our budget, they often take a look at our state funds. And we do not want our state funds to be cut because it's for those individuals that are completely uninsured. But it's a set dollar amount. Medicaid dollars goes on a per member per month. So if Nash County increases in population, we get more Medicaid dollars for that, all right? If they decrease in population, we get less dollars. For state funds, it's one set amount that we have to make stretch through the whole year, okay? So the uninsured are tied to the state funds, and there's never enough state funds to serve all those folks.
Okay. So people that's moving in that's uninsured calculate into that?
They calculate into that, but I will say our system as a whole, there's a lot of people that don't know that they can get enrolled through DSS, and DSS does a good job of that, get enrolled in DSS to become Medicaid eligible. So those that are coming in with no insurance, I would always encourage them to say, hey, have you looked at getting enrolled in Medicaid? Always encourage that one. All right. Yep.
Other questions, comments? Thank you, Dave. That was a very informative report. Appreciate you bringing that information to us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move now to agenda item number 9, Building Reuse Program Resolution, Project Emerald City. Call on Economic Development Director Andy Hagee to present the item. Good morning, Mr. Hagee.
Good morning. As you said, this is an action proposed to adopt a resolution authorizing the application for funding assistance from the North Carolina Department of Commerce Building Reuse Program. The application will be submitted to the Department of Commerce for the reuse program for Project Emerald City. And just please note that this is a confidential project. with a NDA, thus the need for the given name Project Emerald City. Funding will be used for building expansion for an existing Nash County manufacturer with anticipated investment of $5.9 million and the addition of 30 new jobs. The recommendation is for the Board of Commissioners to approve the adoption of the resolution indicating support of the application and the project.
There is a resolution attached to this item. Does the board wish the resolution read, or have you had a chance to review it? Okay, here, Commissioner Fleck, you good with that? All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So
Move for
moved.
approval.
Moved by Commissioner Davis, second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. The motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Hagee.
Thank you.
We'll now move to agenda item number 10, public hearing on UDO text amendment request A250801, revised FEMA flood maps. Call on Plan Director Adam Tyson to present the request. Good morning,
Thank you.
Mr. Tyson.
Good morning. The county is covered in a patchwork of FEMA flood maps which define our flood hazard areas. The diagram you see on the screen is a representation of those. 4 of those map panels up at the northern border of Nash County are outlined in red. These are 4 new FEMA flat map panels. The purpose of this morning's text amendment request is to revise our UDO to adopt a revised FEMA flood insurance study report and these 4 revised FEMA flood insurance rate map panels for areas in northern Nash County along the Warren and Halifax County lines. Nash County's adoption of these updated flood management materials is required by state and federal authorities by September 19th in order to allow our continued participation in the National Flood Insurance Program. The county's participation in that program allows Nash County citizens to purchase or renew flood insurance, which offers coverage unavailable in standard homeowners insurance policies. It also ensures that Nash County is eligible for federal disaster assistance following flooding events, as well as for federal grants and loans for flood risk mitigation and/or flood damage repair and reconstruction projects. As you'll note on these 4 panels, 2 of them are colored yellow and 2 of them are colored gray. The 2 panels colored gray have no changes on the Nash County side of our border. And so we really only need to review the 2 panels that do have changes. None of these changes, I'll note, impact any existing structures. This is the extreme northwestern corner of Nash County. This is the current floodplain map. This yellow area is the 100-year floodplain. The nearest structures are this group of homes right here. When I click the map and change it to the new one, what you'll note is that FEMA has defined a floodway area that'll be shown in red in this corner, a more highly regulated area. Of course, it does not. That's a very swampy, wooded area. It doesn't impact any new structures. And then there'll be a small 500-year floodplain area defined here, which has no regulations. So if we change to the new map, maybe I can get some help from Mr. Edwards to change that, or let's go back one. So there's the floodway that I was referencing, and here's the 500-year. Of course, the floodplain does not stop at the county line, but the state only sends us the data that we're responsible for enforcing. So this is a very minor change. It's very unlikely anybody would try to build something in this swampy corner of the county here, and this blue edge that has been defined here has no regulations attached to it. It's informational only, and all of these homes remain outside of the 100-year floodplain. The second map panel is featured here. This is not the entire panel, but only the portion that is changing. What you will see when I move to the next panel is that this yellow 100-year zone is very subtly shrunken. The red has expanded a little, and the blue 500-year has also expanded back toward. So it's been pulled back some here, and the floodway has expanded. This is an extremely subtle change, and you almost have to flip back and forth between the two several times to see it. There are no structures in the proximity of this area that's changing, and so these are very minor changes this time because of the small amount of the county that falls on these northern floodplain panels. The language of the text amendment, which is on the screen in front of you here, is as suggested by the North Carolina NFIP Model Flood Damage Prevention Ordinance. You'll note the first change, we have not had new panels to adopt since 2014, so we'll replace that date with the new effective date of September 19, 2025. And then this area down here where we've amended this language, this is what the state refers to as automatic adoption language. This language will allow future revised flood studies and map panels to be adopted without the need for a public hearing process or a formal text amendment. And so this is the state's current suggestion for how this paragraph should end in our ordinance to allow for new flood panels to be adopted when they become effective in the future. This has probably been a 4 or 5 year process. Federal bureaucracy takes a little longer than what we're used to here at the county level. But this has been coming through the pipeline for the last 4 or 5 years, and we finally arrived at the point where FEMA says we can adopt this and begin enforcing it. As with all text amendments, we consult our comprehensive land use plan. This request is neither specifically consistent nor inconsistent with the comprehensive land use plan because, of course, it is mandatory for the county to adopt these changes in order to continue to participate in the National Flood Insurance Program. The TRC considered this text amendment back on August 15th and recommended approval. The Planning Board considered this on August 18th and recommended approval. This will require a public hearing, as any amendment to the ordinance will. And then you have one suggested motion in your packet to either approve or deny the amendment request, and a statement of plan consistency. And with that, I'll pause and take any questions that the board has on this text amendment.
Questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Wilkins.
I just need some clarification, especially for those that are listening. And I see on the map 561, I saw another area, I think it's at Ward Road. Will you, for clarity, just say where those areas exactly are? I know they're in District 1, but I mean, you know, what communities are they in?
So they are right in one of these, the first panels that we looked at are in the northwest corner of Nash County, right where Nash, Warren, and Halifax County all come together, and they're specifically right along the border of those counties. And then we have the second set of maps, which is right here. They don't include any actual municipalities or towns. These are rural, unincorporated areas of the county in the extreme north, right along the border there.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Commissioner Howell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to help me understand, since I'm the new guy here,
Sure.
so it doesn't look like there's going to be any impact to any residential establishments on this. What type of notification goes out to our citizens if there was citizens in those areas that are impacted? Do we send notices out to those residents, letting them know that the floodplain's changed and they need to purchase flood insurance?
We would, if we would contact the individual property owners if there was a change where they had a structure that was previously outside of the flood zone and was moved in. And I assume we also would do that if we had one that was inside, but there was a revision that moved them out so that they would know they wouldn't have to carry flood insurance any longer, at least for any sort of mortgage agreement. But in this case, no, the minor nature of the changes did not trigger any notifications.
Would that be for the 100-year flood and the 500-year, or just the 100?
Probably the 100-year, because there are no regulations attached to the 500-year.
But are the citizens still eligible to get flood insurance if they're in a 500-year plane?
I think anybody's eligible to get flood insurance, but you are only required to under like a mortgage agreement when you're in the 100-year. The 500-year does not trigger that requirement.
Okay, and since we're going to no public hearing, when we get this changed here, we still do the same process, we would still notify the citizens?
Right, we would not necessarily need to go through the process we're going through today, but we would still have an outreach process for any citizens who are going to be affected by a change in that 100-year or the floodway.
Thank
you. Other questions? Commissioner Belfield?
Are developers allowed to develop projects in floodplain zones?
So in that red zone, which is the floodway, the most highly regulated area, the only things that can be built there are typically water-dependent structures like boat docks, boat houses, and they require the issuance of a no net rise certificate from an engineer, essentially certifying that when these structures are built in that highly regulated floodway, they don't displace enough water that something that otherwise would not have flooded would flood because of their existence. Then in the 100-year floodplain, we do still allow the construction of structures, but they have to meet 1 foot of freeboard, which means that the FEMA sets a base flood elevation where they predict the flood level will be, which of course is approximate. And then localities like a town or a county can add additional height to that requirement. In Nash County, we have traditionally had 1 foot of freeboard above that base flood elevation. And us requiring a standard higher than the base flood elevation, the higher your freeboard is, the lower your premium for flood insurance is. So we do still allow development in the 100-year, but it has to meet specific construction and elevation standards.
Okay.
You good, Commissioner Belfield? Other questions? All right, hearing none, I call for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins, there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Belfield. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Are there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this subject? We're in public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Hearing none, I call for a motion to close the public hearing.
Move we close
Moved by Commissioner Belfield, there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilkins. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. The public hearing is closed. Is there any further discussion from the board? Ms. Tyson, you want to restate the recommendation again?
So both the Technical Review Committee and the Planning Board recommend that the board approves this UDO text amendment, as well as the Statement of Plan Consistency, which is found on the last page of the staff report on this item.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Moved by Commissioner Arrington.
excuse me, I move that the Nash County Board of Commissioners adopt the Statement of Plan Consistency, which is stated below, and the text amendment request for A250801 to adopt the revised FEMA flood insurance study report and the 4 revised FEMA flood insurance rate map panel with an effective date of September 19, 2025.
Thank you for that motion, Commissioner Arrington. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Howell. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion passes. We'll move to agenda item number 11, public hearing on road name assignment request, Leggett Way. Mr. Tyson will present the request.
This item also requires a public hearing, which the state statutes require anytime a new road name is assigned outside of that road name being recorded on a final subdivision plat. In this case, the owners of the subject property, which is outlined in red here, JBL Farms LLC and STL Farms LLC, have requested the county to assign a new road name, Leggett Way, to the existing path, which is shown in blue. That path is off the west side of South NC Highway 58. We are just north of the Sandy Crossroads, which would be down here off the southern side of the map. This path, as you can see, provides access to an existing potato storage building and greenhouses that are located at 5562 and 5562A South NC Highway 58, Nashville. The primary purpose of this road name assignment request is to improve wayfinding and to reduce confusion with locations on North NC Highway 58. As a resident of South NC Highway 58, I can tell you it is a very real concern. Lots of delivery companies will drop my packages off at a similar house number up in front of Universal Leaf on North NC Highway 58. And so assigning this unique road name should improve the situation for trucks trying to locate this particular facility, because they will no longer just use the South NC 58 address. These structures will be assigned new addresses off of the new road name, Leggett Way. This proposed road name assignment will not impact any other adjacent properties. There are no structures other than these two, which are owned by the applicant for this request, that would need to have their physical addresses changed. The proposed new road name has been reviewed and approved by our Nash County Emergency Services Department as required by our addressing ordinance prior to an official assignment. This item, again, requires a public hearing, and there is a suggested motion at the bottom of the page there to either approve or deny. This particular road naming request does not go through the TRC or the planning board. It is at the discretion of the Board of Commissioners.
Commissioner Leggett, did you have any comments before I call for questions?
I'm going to recuse myself from voting on this item because of potential conflict of interest.
Okay. Any objection to that, Mr. Attorney? Thank you.
That's okay.
All right, are there other questions for staff? Any questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a
Commissioner
question.
Leggett.
I don't have a question.
Wilkins.
I just have a comment for any, and I'm always straight and to the point, but for anyone out there, this is nothing we would not do for someone else who comes before this board and asks for a name change of a lane or a road. And I think it would best serve, as it's stated, for the deliveries and to better able locate it. And because it's the last name of a commissioner, I just want the public to understand that it's nothing we wouldn't do for you or someone else.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilkins. Other questions for staff? Other comments?
No question, just a comment.
Commissioner Harrington?
Yeah, I think we had the Farm Bureau breakfast back there, and I rode by there several times. I was late for the breakfast because I couldn't find Leggett Way. So I'm in favor of a sign being out there on 58 so we can find Leggett Way.
Thank you. Other questions? All right, I'd ask the clerk, make sure you note that recusal in the minutes.
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Davis, second by, who made that second? Commissioner Belfield? All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. We're now in public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to address the board on this matter? Anyone wishing to address the board? Hearing none, I call for a motion to close the public hearing.
Move we close the public hearing.
Closed by Commissioner Belfield, second by Commissioner Howell. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we move to approve the request to assign the new road named Leggett Way to the existing path.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins, there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Harrington. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. We'll now move to agenda item number 12, resolution for addition to the state-maintained secondary road system, Taylorwood subdivision. Mr. Tyson will present information.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation has provided a resolution for the board's consideration and adoption this morning. This resolution is in support of adding the interior roads of the Taylor Woods subdivision to the state-maintained secondary road system for maintenance purposes. The subject roads are highlighted in red on the map on the screen. They're located off the east side of Mill Branch Road, northwest of the town of Sharpsburg in the unincorporated portion of Nash County. They serve a total of 74 residential dwellings. These roads include Buck Run Court, Country Ridge Drive, Doe Run Court, Nancy's Way, School Street, Taylor Woods Circle, and Wildlife Drive. These roads have recently been resurfaced and improved to NCDOT public road standards using funds that were secured by former North Carolina House Representative Ken Fontenot. The Board of Commissioners, you might recall, previously adopted a resolution supporting the safety upgrades of these roads back in February 5th of 2024 using state funds. The North Carolina Department of Transportation has provided 4 pictures showing the work that they've done to bring those roads up to their standards. The Board of Transportation does require the adoption of this resolution by this board as a prerequisite to the final addition of these roads to the state-maintained secondary road system. And so the draft agenda resolution is attached to your agenda report, and it is the same as every resolution that comes from DOT for the adoption of new roads into the system.
Does the resolution need to be read? Hearing none, or any questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have
Commissioner
a
Davis.
question, but I have a statement. As you know, you and I both looked at these roads quite a bit back there before it got funded and how bad it was. And I did take the occasion this past week to go ride and look at it, and the pictures really are great pictures, but they really don't do justice of what I saw out there in riding through that. I'd just like to thank former Representative Ken Fontenot, as well as yourself, Mr. Chairman, for the work done on this. And this is one case where an appropriation, one of many cases, but where appropriation from the General Assembly really went to great use, and it just has improved the quality of that neighborhood. And I invite every commissioner, even though you might not have seen it beforehand, to go take a look at it. I was just amazed, and it was a job great done. A great done job to get this done. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Seeing it before and after, it's quite a change, and I'm very proud of the work that's been done over there. And I thank Kim Moore from the DOT and the other people that were responsible for making this happen once the funding was provided. Took a long time, but we got it done, and I'm very thankful for that. This does not require a public hearing. Is there any other discussion or comments from the board? Hearing none, this subdivision is in District 5, which I represent, so I move for adoption of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Davis. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. That motion passes. We'll now move to agenda item number 13. Thank you, Mr. Tyson. Public hearing, Community Development Block Grant Neighborhood Revitalization Grant Application. Call on Emily Moore, Grants and Intergovernmental Relations Director, to present the request. Good morning, Ms. Moore.
Nash County intends to submit an application for $950,000 for the Community Development Block Grant Neighborhood Revitalization CDBG-NR funds. The grant is used to address housing needs, community needs, economic development needs, or other community development needs within the county. Any eligible need must address a national objective of low to moderate income or removal of slums and blight. The county will make good faith efforts to involve historically underutilized businesses and Section 3 individuals and businesses in execution of the program. Application intake for eligible households will be September 2nd through September 12th. Program goals are to rehabilitate deteriorated housing or replace dilapidated housing with new homes, with the primary focus on benefiting low and moderate income persons. Eligible houses must be owner-occupied, and total household income cannot exceed 80% of the county's median income. The Nash County low-income 80% threshold for a house of 4 is $63,300, according to the U.S. Department of HUD's fiscal year 2025 Income Limits Survey. So the recommended action is to hold the first public hearing.
And all we're doing today is just holding the first public hearing, right?
Correct.
Thank you very much. Any questions for staff? Questions for staff? Commissioner Belfield.
Have you identified any areas that will qualify on this grant?
So
Identify the areas that would qualify.
So with this grant, you can choose one area, or you can do it as a scattered site. So we are going the scattered site route is the current plan, where we would identify individual houses throughout the entire county. So rather than just one spot, we can look at any house in the county outside of the city limits of Rocky Mount.
Other questions?
She just answered mine, Mr. Chairman. I was wondering, you said outside of the city limits of Rocky Mount. Do you know if Rocky Mount has a grant similar to this?
So with CDBG funds, Rocky Mount is an entitlement city, so they receive funds directly from HUD, from the federal government, whereas us, we go through the state, which then comes from the federal government. So they receive allotments directly from the federal government.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
People living inside the town, like of Whitaker's, can also apply.
Correct.
Other questions? All right, hearing none, I call for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins, second.
Second.
Second by, who made that second?
Freddie.
Commissioner Howell made the second. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. We're now in public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this matter in public hearing? Anyone wishing to speak? Hearing none, I call for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Leggett. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Belfield. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion passes. We'll now move to agenda item number 14, Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, Advanced Assistance Designated Agent Resolution. Ms. Moore will present the request.
Nash County submitted a letter of interest to Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, HMGP, for a Highway 97 sewer outfall rehab project. We have been invited to apply for an advanced assistance program to prepare a shovel-ready HMGP project. The Highway 97 sewer outfall rehab project aims to enhance the resilience and efficiency of the sewer system by relining a segment of the existing sewer outfall and raising manholes above grade. These upgrades are designed to reduce the risk of excessive wastewater inflows, lower treatment costs, and ensure the system's reliability under disastrous weather conditions such as DR 4827 or Hurricane Helene. If awarded, advanced assistance will assist with procurement, engineering, design and permitting if needed, preparation of environmental review documents, a cost-benefit analysis, and project management, including assistance with the HMGP INF application package. HMGP Advanced Assistance requires a resolution designating the applicant's agent. This designation authorizes the primary and secondary agents to execute and file applications for federal and/or state financial assistance on behalf of Nash County. So the recommended action is to approve the attached resolution.
There's a resolution information attached to this item. Does any member of the board wish it to be read? Hearing none, is there any other discussion from the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Davis?
could I ask Mr. Boone to give us an idea of where this outfall line runs from to? Or is it in our packet? I do not see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, this is the NC 97 sewer outfall, so leaving the mobile home park there on 97, heads north and then parallels the river down behind Bel Air Estates. So that portion of that sewer outfall.
And where does Rocky Mount pick it up at? I know
They
we,
pick it up at the lift station behind Bel Air.
lift station behind Bel Air, okay. So that was put in there late 1990s, maybe,
Yeah, that was the first section of sewer, I believe, that
that we had.
county installed, yes, sir.
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions for staff? Hearing none, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Davis. There a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. That motion passes. Move now to agenda item number 15. Ms. Moore will present the request grant award acceptance.
Nash County has been awarded $500,000 for the Accessible Parks Grant we applied for by the North Carolina Parks and Recreation Trust Fund. This grant will be used for the Nash County Recreation Center Improvement Project, which includes a gymnasium, including 6 adjustable basketball goals and 6 ADA bleachers, the addition of a lobby, renovation of restrooms and addition of new restrooms, renovation of exterior routes, renovation and upfit of a sensory room, and planning cost. The grant has a required match of 20%, which is $100,000, which the county committed back in January. At this time, the funding agency requests that the County Board of Commissioners approve the project agreement. The grant term is September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2028. So the recommendation is to approve the project agreement.
Any questions for staff? Any questions? Hearing none, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins. Is there a second?
I guess I'll go ask the question.
Go ahead, sir. You got to let me know. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All the gyms and the items that you named, did you state the place, which just?
It's the Nash County Recreation Center, so the Fellowship Church that we had purchased
Okay.
down on Old White Oak Road.
All right.
Second.
All right, I got a motion by Commissioner Wilkins, a second by Commissioner Davis. Any other discussion? All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion passes. Move now to agenda item number 16, monthly tax report. Call on Shamika Tillery, Tax Collection Supervisor, to present the report, which is for information only. Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Thank you.
It's fine. Good
morning,
morning, good
Ms. Tillery.
morning. In keeping with General Statute 105, that's 350, the tax collector will be providing a monthly report showing the amount of taxes collected and efforts being made to collect taxes. This report is designed to keep the board current on activities in the tax collector's office. This report is for your information only and does not require approval. It is recommended that you accept the report, so it will be noted in the minutes. Any questions?
Any questions for staff? Any questions? All right, without objection, the report will be accepted and so noted in the minutes. Ms. Tillery, if you would continue with agenda item number 17, tax refunds.
Yes.
Thank
In
you, ma'am.
compliance with North Carolina General Statute, Article 27, 105-31, the tax collector will submit to the governing body for their approval of a list of any tax refunds after legitimacy of the refund has been established. And we do have one refund where an error charged for an extra bathroom, half bath, and that total refund amount would be $101.19.
Any questions for staff? Commissioner Davis?
Just for my knowledge,
Sir.
I think it has something to do with a fire district, but Tar River refund amount, what is Tar River?
That's correct. They have one for Tar River because they're in that fire district as well. So we had to refund the county amount and Tar River as well.
Where is Tar River Fire District? I don't know.
You're talking where is actually the Tar River Fire District?
I just don't recall one of our volunteer fire departments being called Tar River. It's probably made me.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So for Tar River, you would be in the area of Spring Hope. You'd be close. And I'll have to do further research on that to get back with you for confirmation.
Spring Hope.
Spring Hope has a name, Tar River. Okay, thank you.
Just like Nashville's the NS Scully.
That's
Right, yeah.
correct.
I just hadn't heard the Tar River part.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Commissioner Leggett.
Other
Thank you.
questions?
You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. All right, we're going to
Thank you.
jump over item 18 right now. If we've got the Board of Equalization and Review scheduled for 11 a.m., so without objection, I'd like to continue with 19 and maybe 20, and then we'll take a break and come back and do the Board of Equalization and Review. Everybody good with that? All right, so we'll move now to agenda item number 18, Engineering Services Agreement with Matt Gay and Associates. Call on Public Utilities and Facilities Director Mike Phillips to present the request. Is Mike Phillips, you're up. Perfect timing. Good morning, Mr. Phillips. We had to jump ahead a little bit because of the Board of Equalization and Review.
All right, thank you for having me. As part of an AIA grant the county received, we have been working with Matt Gay and Associates on an assessment of the sewer system in northern Nash Water and Sewer District, specifically the Dorchester Lift Station and its existing 6-inch force main. The assessment has identified significant deterioration in the lift station and pump performance issues due to existing flow and the size of the force main. Design plans for the necessary improvements were submitted to the state in March of 2025, and we received final approval back in June. These improvements include rehab of the existing pump station and replacement of the force main with a new 3-inch force main from lift station in Dorchester to the lift station adjacent to the northbound I-95 rest area. Cost of services up to this point of the project were about $55,000 and covered by an existing AIA grant. And with the AIA funds now depleted, we propose entering into an engineering services agreement with Matt Gay and Associates to complete the remaining project tasks. These tasks include bidding, awarding the project, providing construction administration, construction observation, and managing the project closeout. Proposed contract amount for these services is approximately $45,000. And based on the above, the Public Utilities and Facilities Department recommends approval of this contract and requests the Board of Commissioners to authorize the county manager to execute the same contract on behalf of the county. Any other information?
Any questions for staff? Anyone have any questions? Commissioner Davis?
Do we have an idea of what the total cost of the project will be, Mike?
It's about $900,000, a little over $900,000.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Other questions? All right, you've heard the excuse me, Commissioner Howell?
Thank you, sir. Could you please, once you get a copy of that contract, could you please forward that to me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion passes. Move now to agenda item number 20. Amended resolution declaring Nash County's intent to obligate North Carolina state-directed funds for certain water and/or wastewater infrastructure projects. Call on Deputy County Manager Jonathan Boone to present the request. And I think there's a resolution attached to this. Would the board want that read? Mr. Boone?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board may recall, it'll be a year ago tomorrow, that we approved a resolution allocating funds that the county received for water and wastewater improvements here in Nash County. And we have received a request from the town of Whitakers that they are looking for some additional flexibility in terms of how those funds are spent. They will still be spent on water and wastewater related projects, but the language used in the previous resolution was a little more restrictive than maybe is necessary for the projects that the town will look to complete. And as part of this amended resolution, we are also seeking similar flexibility in funds that Nash County had allocated for a smart metering project here in Nash County. So the resolution that you have before you retains the amounts that were allocated back in September of 2024, and again, merely changes the language. So I will not read the entire resolution, but I will simply read the revised language that we're asking for the board to approve. So more specifically, the language reads, Town of Whitakers, $200,000 for water and/or wastewater system improvement projects and related appurtenances. So again, the amount is the same, identical as what was approved in September of 2024. We've just changed the language attached to that funding. And we are proposing to use similar language for the $800,000 that Nash County had approved for, or that the board had approved for the county to use for a meter management project. And again, using similar language, $800,000 for water and/or wastewater system improvement project and related appurtenances. So again, funding remains the same. We're just amending the language to provide the town and the county a little more flexibility in terms of how these funds are spent. But it will be on water and/or wastewater related improvements. So that said, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions for staff? Commissioner Davis?
Not particularly for the Whitakers part of it, because I'm aware of what we're doing there, but for Nash County, what changes you make will come back to the board for our blessings, being we approved it for the smart metering and so forth.
That's correct. So again, we could still use a portion of the $800,000 for that purpose. The language would allow for that. We're just not calling that project out specifically.
Right.
As Mr. Phillips mentioned in the previous agenda item, we anticipate the Dorch's sewer upgrades is going to be on the order of $900,000, $950,000. The board originally approved $820,000. So $820,000 less engineering fees. Will need some of these funds to complete that project. So we're really just giving us a little more flexibility in terms of how the money is spent.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, I want to recognize Mayor Hopkins. Mayor Hopkins, thank you for being with us today. I know you had indicated you would be here, but thank you for being with us. And since I recognize Mayor Hopkins, I'll go ahead and recognize Mayor Owen Strickland. Thank you for being with us as well. You don't have an item on the agenda, but certainly Mayor Hopkins does, and I know he's glad to see us act on this today. So again, thank you, sir, for being with us today. All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I so move we approve the recommendation.
Motion made by Commissioner Arrington. Is there a second by Commissioner? Commissioner Davis, did you make the second? Commissioner Belfield? Okay. Got a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion passes. We'll move now to agenda item number 21, Community Development Block Grant, Coronavirus CDBG CV Grant Project Ordinance Amendment. Call on the Finance Director. I'll call on the Assistant Finance Director, Melanie Eason, to present the request. Good morning, Ms. Eason.
I'm sorry, Nikki's at a conference this morning.
That's quite
so
all
she wasn't
right.
able
We're
to be
glad to
here.
have you with us.
The first item is a project ordinance presented for your approval. It is for Nash County. Nash County was awarded $900,000 in grant funding from the North Carolina Department of Commerce Rural Economic Development Division. These funds are for grant administration, public facilities, and public services. The amendment is presented to update the ordinance to move $100,000 from public services to public facilities, which will allow the county to complete trail extensions and associated engineering.
Questions for staff? Any questions? Did you read the recommendation?
And it is recommended to approve the project budget ordinance amendment.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Leggett, is there a second? Come on.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Belfield. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion passes. Move now to agenda item number 22, County Capital Projects Fund Ordinance. Ms. Eason will present the request.
The second one is for county projects. The county project ordinance is presented to amend the county capital projects fund. The fund will include the Med Park building renovation project, the exterior courthouse repairs project, the administration building roof renovation projects, the Miracle Park field lights project, and the recreation center project phase 1. The projects are fully funded through bank financing. The initial funding request for the project of $710,000 for general fund balance appropriation is to be reimbursed to the project, to the general fund now that bank financing is available. A reimbursement resolution for this project was approved by the Board of Commissioners on April 1st, 2024. This amendment is to provide the allocation of the bank financing to the appropriate projects. And the recommended action is to approve the capital project budget ordinance amendment.
Any questions for staff? Any questions? Hearing none, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Commissioner Davis, there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arrington. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion passes. Move to the final item for Ms. Eason, budget amendments.
Okay, I have 8 budget amendment requests for you this morning. The first is for the Health Department. Nash County Health Department has received a donation for $1,000 from Trillium to assist with expenses for an upcoming community baby shower event being coordinated by the Health Education Unit of the Health Department. The purpose of the event is to connect new moms and postpartum families with local resources and organizations that support healthy living and mental health. The Health Department holds this event in conjunction with community partners to provide relevant resources, information to attendees. The public amendment is intended to move the donation revenues to the expense account. The second one is for fire districts. This budget amendment is needed to correct the fund balance requested amounts for Green Hornet Fire District, Farrell's Fire District, and Red Oak Fire District, totaling $124,983. The third one is for the Sheriff's Office. This budget amendment is to reappropriate unspent FY25 local program donations for the Sheriff's Office, totaling $3,611. Next is for the county capital projects. This budget amendment is to adjust the general fund allocation due to the bank financing for the capital project ordinance amendment, totaling $474,000. Next is for the Sheriff's Office. This budget amendment is to allocate insurance proceeds for 2 totaled vehicles to the vehicle equipment supply line item to upfit new vehicles. This one totals $25,200. The next sheriff's amendment is to recognize and allocate revenue from Governor's Highway Safety overtime grant to expense account totaling $26,500. The seventh one is for the senior services. This amendment is to reflect final fund amounts for FY26 general purpose budgets. The next one, the last one is also for senior services. This budget amendment is to reflect the totals of Family Caregiver Support Program grant funds for FY26.
Any questions for staff?
One question, Mr.
Commissioner
Chairman.
Davis?
Well, on the item number 4, makes the difference between the number we see there and the 710,000 that we saw up there a little earlier concerning the same thing, or are they unrelated? I can't quite equate how those numbers are different.
We originally, the initial funding request was for $710,000. In, I believe, June, it was reduced to $474,000. We've transferred 236 out. This is to move the remaining 474,000. It was written that way, I guess, because it was, the initial amount requested was 710,000.
But we've already moved some out
Correct,
prior to the end of the year.
correct.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Other questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Wilkins?
just a quick, and you may or may not know this, the community baby shower, is that the one taking place October 15th in Rocky Mount?
I do not know the date of it.
I think it is, yes.
Okay.
At Word?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? All right, without objection, we will approve all of these budget amendments with one motion. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opposed, no. That matter passes. We'll move now to agenda item number 24. We're going to try to get through Ms. Fuller's information, and then we're going to break and then come back to the BOER. Ms. Fuller is going to present some information on opioid settlement fund projects. Good morning.
Sure, good morning. I am here to present the recommendations for the allocation of opioid settlement funds for recovery housing support and reentry programs as per the resolution approved on May 5th, 2025. So just a bit of background. On May 5th, 2025, this board approved a resolution to direct the expenditure of opioid settlement funds. The two strategies that were approved were recovery housing support in the amount of $200,000 and reentry programs in the amount of $200,000. A request for assistance was open on June 9th and closed on July 11th. 3 applications were received and reviewed by members of the Opioid Settlement Advisory Council, and I have 2 recommendations to bring to you today. So the first is for reentry programs, Road to Recovery LLC, their Reentry and Recovery Support Initiative. Road to Recovery seeks to expand a reentry and recovery program aimed at reducing recidivism, supporting recovery, and improving well-being for individuals at high risk of opioid use disorder, especially those involved in the justice system. Services will include peer support, peer recovery support, case management, connections with Medicaid assistant treatment, behavioral health counseling, workforce readiness training, and housing referrals. This program will collaborate with health departments, community organizations, and the justice system to provide trauma-informed services that promote dignity, equity, and second chances. So this one is specifically for the reentry population. The second recommendation is for recovery housing support, and this is Project Momentum. Their program is called the NORA program, Nash Opioid Response and Access Program. Project Momentum's NORA program is a community-based case management initiative focused on reducing opioid-related harm and improving access to recovery services in Nash County. This program offers person-centered, trauma-informed support services, including outreach, referrals to medicated assistant treatment and behavioral health treatment, harm reduction resources, housing assistance, social services navigation, and peer recovery networks. Case managers will provide consistent support from active use through long-term recovery, ensuring continuity and stability. This program aims to reduce overdose deaths, increasing treatment retention, and enhance overall wellness through community-driven, evidence-based practices. And so the action requested for this is the Board of Commissioners is requested to approve the recommended funding allocations for recovery housing support and reentry programs. The proposed contracts with Road to Recovery and Project Momentum are presently under review by the Nash County Attorney, and contingent upon approval, the board further authorizes the county manager to execute the contracts and take necessary actions to implement the programs on behalf of Nash County. I do want to say, these two programs, we want to make sure that our outcomes are aligned, and so the two of these programs together, we have worked through an outcome framework, and so together they'll be focusing on reducing opioid overdose deaths, increased treatment and engagement with treatment, improved housing stability, increased employment, and enhanced service coordination across Nash County. So together, these two subrecipients will be working with an outcome framework. What questions do you have?
Questions for staff? Any questions? Well, thank you for your
Mr.
good
Chairman.
work. Commissioner Howell?
T, were you able to get the copies of the contracts?
So I have the contracts. They are with our attorney, but I can forward them to you.
Can you just, yeah, draft would be fine. Can you just
Absolutely, I can.
send those to me? Just, and I have, obviously, I voted for the resolution on May
Yes.
5th, and I support the actions that you're doing and applaud you for what you've done to this point. I just would like to be able to see these contracts and review them before we actually spend the money on it in the future or
Okay.
approve to spend the money on it in the future. It's just, I mean, I'm here to represent the citizens, and we're given approval, but we're not seeing the contract, what we're approving. And I just think to be fair to the citizens of Nash County, we have oversight of that before we approve it going forward. But I will vote for it and support it today.
Sure, and I can send it to you today. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you for your good work on this, Ms. Fuller.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Davis?
I'm pleased to make the recommendation for this approval, and I too would like to thank all the work that's been done to date. This is a milestone, I think, to actually start getting some of this money out into our community. And of course, we heard Thursday night that they're very anxious to start getting the money out in the community. So this step is a great step to move forward. So I'm pleased to make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. That motion passes. Move to agenda item 25, board appointments. Ms. Fuller will present the request.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that approval. Next, we are looking at two board appointments. First is the Consolidated Human Services Board. Please consider the appointment of Ms. Julie Dixon to the Consolidated Health and Human Services Board. That board met on August 21st and is recommending Ms. Dixon to serve as a consumer member, replacing Danny Tyson. Her application is included in your packet for review. Ms. Dixon is eligible, willing, and comes with the board's recommendation. If approved, her 4-year term will run through September 30th, 2029.
Any questions for Ms. Fuller? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve Mrs. Julie Dixon to the Consolidated Health and Human Services Board?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Belfield. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Ms. Dixon is approved for that board. Next item, Ms. Fuller.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Next is the Nash County Planning Board. Please consider the appointment of Ms. Evelyn Bullock to the Nash County Planning Board. Ms. Bullock's application has been included in your board packet for review. This appointment is to fill the unexpired term of Dr. Harris, who resigned from the Planning Board in August. If approved, Ms. Bullock will serve the remaining of the term, which expires June 30th, 2027.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve Mrs. Evelyn Bullock to the Planning Board to fill the unexpired term of Dr. Tevis Harris?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Belfield. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Mr. Harris is removed, and Ms. Bullock is approved.
Thank you.
You comments on other HHS?
Sure, thank you. So the Consolidated Health and Human Services Board are still actively looking to fill several vacancies. This includes an engineer, a dentist, an optometrist, a veterinarian, one consumer, a psychiatrist, and a psychologist. So if this board has any recommendations, please get the applications to me, and I'll share it with that Health and Human Services Board.
Thank you, Ms. Fuller.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
All right, we're going to break, take about a 10-minute break, need to be back in here at 11. Come back and do the Board of Equalization and Review, then we'll follow that with commissioner comments. manager's comments, and then we will move into closed session. We're now on break. To agenda item number 18, 2025 Board of Equalization and Review. I now call for a motion to recess the Nash County Board of Commissioners' September 8th regular meeting and reconvene the 2025 hearing of the Board of Equalization and Review. Is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Leggett. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Howell. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. That motion passes. The Board of Equalization and Review is now called to order, and I ask the County Attorney Mike Gaynor to facilitate presentation of the information. Good morning, Mr. Gaynor.
Good morning. Just to refresh everybody's recollection, we had a hearing on July the 7th for the Board of Equalization and Review, and we had one pending appeal, and that is for tax parcel number 003373. Again, this hearing is a quasi-judicial hearing. A quasi-judicial hearing is one that requires the Board of Equalization and Review to determine the weight and sufficiency of the evidence and the credibility of the witnesses and make conclusions from those facts, and to exercise judicial discretion. When a proceeding is quasi-judicial, constitutional due process concerns require minimal fair trial standards. These requirements include the right of parties to offer evidence and cross-examine witnesses. Decision makers must be impartial without fixed opinions on the matter being heard. The board should decide a case only on the greater weight of the evidence, and each appellant will be sworn in by the clerk. Just to give you a little bit of background on this before we ask the representative from the taxpayer to come up. The tax value was established by the appraisers, by Piner, at $37 million. There was some inaccurate information on the square footage on that. The tax staff and I kind of dug pretty deep into this, and the tax staff actually went out and remeasured the square footage. They physically went out and remeasured the square footage to ensure that we had accurate information. Based on that measurement, we came up with a proposed tax value of $23,068,440. I was working with the taxpayer's attorney, and she and I worked together to come up with an approach, or they're proposing that we use strictly the income approach. The tax office was hesitant to strictly use the income approach because of the expense to income ratio was seemingly higher than what an average is, and we feared that would not give an accurate, fair tax value. According to what the courts in the state of North Carolina permit, they permit you to combine approaches and to use the cost approach and the income approach, and that's what we are proposing. With that, we have arrived at a tax value of $16,728,170 to be a assessed value. That value will remain until either there's a reevaluation or there's added structures or improvements. And again, this value is based on the cost approach, the income approach based on the 2023 numbers, and a 7.5% cap rate. And then there have been some adjustments to that figure. We took the average of those two, which is permitted by the courts. And then there was an adjustment based on condition by the tax office. So that the value that we have arrived at is $16,728,170. And at this point, we will call on the appellant, and she can be sworn in and make her presentation. So this is Stacy Little from Parker Poe.
Madam Clerk, you swear Ms. Little in?
Good morning.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. As Mr. Gaynor stated, my name is Stacy Little. I'm from Parker Poe. I met with you briefly back in July. On behalf of the taxpayer, we certainly appreciate all the work that Mr. Gaynor and the tax office has put into this appeal. We have gone back and forth numerous times before this meeting today and really gotten to the bottom of it. We've reached some agreements. There is still a small disagreement on our part, and we do believe that the income value is the most appropriate value for valuing this property, the most appropriate approach. So I have a handout here, and I think it might be easier if I just stick it. I think there's the ability to stick it here, right? Can you all see that up there?
Not yet.
Just a moment.
Here it comes.
It'll come up.
Okay.
Want to straighten it up a little bit?
And I don't know how close your screen is, if you can read those numbers, because I cannot read them from here, but if it's close,
If you could push it out just a little bit, I can see it, but, so, no, the other way. A little bit more. Well, push it up a little. Perfect. Can see it now.
Is that better?
Perfect.
Okay.
For me, anyway.
And I do have copies if that's easier. So from the taxpayer standpoint, this 16,728,170 number that the county is proposing is the actual cost to develop this project. And so the county is proposing the use of the cost approach and the income approach. And we went back to the county and, our position is if you're going to use the cost approach, you have to use what the actual cost of development for this project were. And so that 16.7 give or take number was give or take the cost of development for Rocky Mount Mills. But, the case law in North Carolina tells us that the income approach is the most preferred method, but in certain situations, you can combine approaches. So if we're using the cost approach and the income approach, our position is that the baseline cost approach number should be that 16.7 number. And then we look down at this table, and this table shows us the actual performance of Rocky Mount Mills over the last few years. So we know that this tax cycle is 2024 was the drop dead date, so we're not really looking at the performance of 2024, but I've included that just so that you can see the historical performance over the course of the last 4 years. So in 2021, we see that their performance was not as great. It's gotten better the last few years, so 8.3, 8.9. In 2023, the actual performance was around 10.2. And then in 2024, the performance increased at about 15.3. So our proposed value, I say at the top of this document, if you can even see that, is the actual value of the 2023 performance. But my request today is that, if the county is suggesting that you take into consideration the cost approach and the income approach, that you use the actual numbers before you. So the cost approach, the actual cost of development, including a 10% entrepreneurial value, is about 16.7, and then you add that with the actual performance of about 10.2. So that would be our recommendation to the board, is that you combine those two numbers if you're going to use a combination approach. Happy to answer questions. I know that's.
So you're saying combine the 16.7 and the 10.2 and get an average of the two?
Yes, that would be our recommendation.
What would that number be?
I'd like to address
Yes,
that.
sir, please do.
If I can,
But just for information, can we determine what that number is?
About 13.5, but I'll get the exact number for you.
Okay. Just 1 minute, Mr. Gaines.
Okay. $13,463,502.
13463502.
13,463,502.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'd like to address two things. I don't think it's accurate that the actual cost is the cost that should be used. The cost approach uses the total cost of replacement at the time of reevaluation. And so the cost of replacement at the time of reevaluation is different than the actual cost of the project. So I don't think that we can use that figure of the actual cost of the project. The cost of the project, the cost approach at reevaluation is the 23 million figure that the tax office has previously established based on your, the adopted schedule of values that the board adopted during the reevaluation process. The other flaw with that approach would be that the cap rate, they're basing it on is 9.67%. And an average cap rate in this region for mixed use, for commercial, office space, residential, and event space is really probably closer to about 7.5%. And so those are the two things that we disagree with on that approach. So that's where we are on that.
So can you give me that actual number again? 16 million,
16 million.
728,170.
728,170.
That is correct, yes.
And just to address Mr. Gaynor's point, so we obviously disagree with, the way that the cost approach should be used. No one is going to go out and rebuild Rocky Mount Mills. So we have to look at what the actual cost was that went into that development to figure out what the value should be. No one's going to go redo that project. It's historical. The cost of, depreciation is variable. It's just not something that's going to be rebuilt today. So we can't look at what it would cost to rebuild it. It's just not applicable in this case. That's why we initially, and standing here today, have argued that the income approach is the most reliable method to value this property. It's such a unique property that the cost approach is just not applicable. But if we're going to use that approach, that's why our position is that we need to use the actual cost of development. With regard to the cap rate, I believe I presented it to you last time, and I have it with me today. We do have cap rate support. We rely on the RERC data, and I have that for its regional investment data criteria that we rely upon. And for retail in the South, the going-in cap rate in this range, the average would be 8.3. For office, the average would be 8.5. And then in the East, that's another segment that they look at. The average would be 9.2 for office. For retail, the average would be 9.1. So maybe an appropriate cap rate is somewhere in the middle, but we are arguing a 9 cap and the county's at a 7. But arguably, the averages as dictated by, regional research are higher than 7.5.
Okay, let me make sure that we're clear. Your recommendation from the appellant is 13,463,502.
Yes.
And the county's number is 16,728,170.
Yes.
So I want to open it up for any questions from the board at this time. If you guys would just kind of hang up there in case you get a question directed at you, I would appreciate it. Any questions? Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to help me better understand this, how do we arrive at the 10.198 prior to the reevaluation? How did we calculate that?
Do you mean the prior tax value? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Prior to the reevaluation, it was $10,198,834. How did we arrive at that figure?
So
And I guess the question is also whether the measurement's wrong on that figure or the measurement's wrong since that figure.
Mr. Edwards, if you'd like for him to come up and answer it, because he's more familiar with that than I am.
Good morning, Matt.
Need to be sworn.
He would.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
My name's Matt. I'm the real property appraisal manager. Took that position July 1st, so here I am. I thank you all for what you do. It's a tough task, and I admire you for it. Mr. Howell, to answer your question, in 2020, that assessed value was $29,467,000. During that time, the previous appraisal manager got an appeal or a call about the concern of that value. At that time, that real estate value was under review, and the appraisal manager at that time agreed to lower that value to the $10 million that they said now. That's how that came about.
Was the agreement on that made based off of the cost of the building the unit, or was it based off the rental?
No.
The income from it?
It was based off economic function. He went out there and took a look at it, and he did economic function on the building itself. At that particular time, the square footage was still incorrect. We've just recently corrected that, and that was a combination of a computer and input error, which overcalculated some second-story square footage. And so he took it upon himself to make an economic function value change on that based on that. But rest assured, we've got the square footage corrected going forward, and we're very confident in that. And so whatever decision you guys make, we'll agree with it. But I will say this, due to the uniform standards of professional appraisal practices, there is an unethical situation that called bias. And we're just about borderline being biased in this situation. So take that into consideration. But I do think if you come to some terms of agreement with the two numbers in between, not going to push us over the edge. We're walking a tight edge right now. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Just hang up there, Mr. Edwards.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Wilkins, if we have any questions for staff, the attorney, or the appellant, now's the time to ask those questions.
Matt, what was the difference in square footage from the $10,198,834 quote to now? What was the difference? What was the square footage then,
Okay.
and what was it when it changed?
I don't have the square footage then, but I do have what it was changed to now. It was reduced to 237,771 square feet. I'd have to go pull some prior reports, backdated, and add those each individual sections up, which is probably about 30 different sections that I'll have to add up to get that. I just don't have that today. But it was a tremendous reduction. It was probably almost, if my memory serves me correctly, almost cut it in half. Maybe if not a half, three-quarter. Difference. Yeah, he reducing about 150,000, so about, yeah, so it was about 150,000, 200,000, give or take, without having that information handy. But the correct square footage is 237,771, and I went out, so and spent time out there, so it's right.
Other questions? Again, now's the time to ask them. Any other questions? Commissioner Davis?
Could I get you two cap rates?
Yes, sir.
Again, cap rates that we want to use and cap rates. That capital.
So, is this what you use?
That's what I used in the email. They're right here, that we were presented.
The final approach, is that what you used to come up with the final number?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we used 7.5. And then we added to that to come up with our number, the tax rate back into that, because they had proposed that we do that. And so that came up with an 8.17% cap
And it actually
rate.
come up to 18 million.
That's at 7.5.
No, that's at 18.7.
That's right.
And then the
Okay.
appellant is arguing for a 9 based on the RARC report will give us an average of 9.29.
Plus the 6.
Plus-
Plus the 6, right, yes. So we use 7.5, they're arguing 9.
You use 7.5, they're using 9.
Plus the tax, which, right.
May I ask?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Commissioner Davis.
Mike, having not done this so many times in the past, am I allowed to use my knowledge of our industry in this area or cap rates for to make this decision, or do I have to not use what I know the cap rates for in this area? Doing things that use cap rates.
You have to make a decision based on the evidence presented, because it's quasi judicial. But also, I mean, but based on the law and facts. So, I mean, I don't know how to answer that question other than that.
I have to make my decision based on the evidence presented.
And based on the law.
Can he ask you a question?
You can ask me a question, and I can attempt to answer it, but I don't know that you can, or give me, I can't give you any information you don't know.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I did cut that off at the break. I apologize. I'm good right this moment, sir. I may have other questions in a minute.
Other questions? Are there any other questions for the appellant, the staff, or the attorney?
Got a question.
Commissioner Leggett.
Do you consider that the taxpayer has made overpayments on their property in the past couple of years, considering the error in square footage, or not necessarily because they were being billed on a cap rate type?
So until the reevaluation, I do not believe they have made overpayments. I believe that was an accurate value that was agreed upon between the tax office and the county, excuse me, and the taxpayer. After the reevaluation, because of the difference in square footage and the higher assessed value, they are certainly eligible to file an appeal. Just a little bit about this property. It does not affect the value that's established, the assessed value that's established. It is a historical property, so they qualify for a 50% tax break on the property taxes in which they pay. Additionally, there's a brownfield there, and so that for last year, they qualified for a additional 90% discount on that property, for that reason. And so the total tax that was paid last year was only about $900. So they would be eligible to apply for an appeal, apply for a refund based on the overvaluation. However, it would be relatively minimal.
Yeah, and I just don't want to get confused. I mean, the
Right.
issue of what the taxpayer is actually paying and the rebates and the incentives, that is not up for discussion today.
As I
It's not
said,
part-
it's
right.
not
Yeah.
part of what you're doing, but yes, to answer your question, they would be able to apply for a refund.
Commissioner Davis.
You mentioned brownfields. Does that additional discount apply to only that property that is in the brownfield, or does it apply to all the property they have there?
I don't know the answer to that question. Again, I'm assuming it only applies to what is there.
Ms. Wade, if you'll have to be sworn in.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Thank you.
Good question, Mr. Davis. With that brownfield, and actually they're getting the brownfield and the historic? And so when you stated their tax bill was $900, they actually pay $802. And also, the same thing, it is, and the same would apply for 25. They would get total exemption off of the land and half off of the building itself.
Well, but my real question was, I know what property it is, the brownfield. So does that discount apply to all the property they own there, or just to that side over there where the brownfield actually is?
Just to that side where the brownfield is, that's
Okay,
correct,
thank you.
yes.
I don't think we need to really take into account at all what taxes they're paying, because that's not what we're charged with.
That's correct.
Okay. But thank you for your answer.
You're welcome,
I
you're
just couldn't believe it could be anything but what was actually in the brownfield.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Other questions? Any other questions? Commissioner Davis?
I'm just really at odds with myself, and I hadn't got the answer that I want. I don't know how much of my experience I can use in making this decision with the current seat that I'm sitting in. Based on what my knowledge is, I would go one way, but if I got to use only the evidence, I would go the other way. And I guess that's just something I'm gonna have to make up my own mind, because you don't seem to have statute that directs me either way.
I don't, I mean, you're taking the role of a jury or a judge to make a decision, in essence. And you have to base it on the facts that are presented to you. And I don't know what else I can tell you on that.
I think you just cleared it up for me by making that statement, because I have served on a jury, and certainly I use what knowledge I have to make my decision on the jury. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So let me just make sure that I'm clear. If I'm not clear, you clear me up. The recommendation from the county on this property is $16,728,170.
That is correct.
The appellate's recommendation is $13,463,502. There could be a third number if recommended by any member of this board in the form of a motion. Are those the options before us?
This board can establish the value.
Okay.
That is the authority of this hearing.
Are there any other questions for staff, the attorney, or the appellate?
I have one more question for capital. Knowing the outcome of what your tax actually is, I'm a little bit misunderstanding why you're trying to pull your values down when it seemed to be your advantage to keep them up as high as you can, knowing it's not really costing you anything anyway, because the higher value on a property, should you ever decide to do something with it, it's going to work in your favor. Can you tell me why you're looking at it the way you're looking at it?
Yeah.
If that's a permissible question.
Yeah, and I haven't had that specific discussion with this particular taxpayer, but there's lots of reasons why they don't want their taxable value to be so high. One being that some of those incentives could go away, and then they're going to be left paying the value that it was. So I think there's just in the best interest of all people to get it down to what they believe is the most accurate, fair value. I guess your point is if they were to sell, then they would want, a taxable value to be higher to try to sell for more. But I don't think that that's the incentive at this point. I think the incentive, if those incentives, the tax breaks, the programs that they're in go away, then their value is going to be higher than they believe that it is. And I'm not, like I said, I haven't discussed those exact details with this particular client, but we do see that a lot, and there is incentive to get the value down to what is the most appropriate value, notwithstanding the taxes.
And if I could just make one more comment, and I don't know that I explained it appropriately the first time, but, based on the schedule of values with the cost approach and the current cost to replace was $23 million. And the reason that we were not comfortable using the income approach was because, as you can see here, just the difference in incomes over the years, especially in 2024. And we weren't, based on the income approach, strictly the income approach, and their preferred cap rate, that value is higher than what the value that they're requesting is. Again, I would urge the commissioners and the board or the Board of Equalization and Review to approve the values set by the county.
And just one final rebuttal to that. The value that's higher is the 2024 actual performance, which really should not be considered as part of this discussion since the data valuation is 1/1/24. This is looking at the whole year of '24. This is just data for you, it's not technically to be considered as part of the valuation.
Any final questions, Commissioner Davis?
Mark, in looking at this, if I have a home I rent, my taxes stays the same whether I've got it rented that year or whether I don't have it rented that year. So the performance, you just can't rely on that totally.
That's correct.
For that reason. And I can't help but think, looking at the various differences of where you were from 2021 to where you are in 2024, it's just a better time, economic time now. But we don't make this decision on economic times, if I'm understanding right, only a very small portion of it, or maybe a third of it. We've got to set the value on looking at it at least two ways, maybe three ways. Is that a correct?
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
Any final questions?
Mr.
Bell,
I'd
come back to you.
like to get the figures straight that we're going to be looking at.
Well, I tell you,
The county,
let's get the questions finalized, and then we'll go over the two figures again, and there may be something else that's thrown on the table. Commissioner Harrington?
okay.
Well, Attorney Gaynor, basically, as sit here and listen to both sides, and not being a real estate developer or whatever, that my decision is based on that you and the tax office have used non-bias or changed the rules to come up with this evaluation, and that you have made some adjustments. You went back and reevaluated what was established and found some errors. And at the same time, we know that the taxpayer want more than we have already given. But if that's your sworn and testimony that what has been presented, I respect that, and also what the taxpayer has done. But mainly, as being on the same type of evaluation that we do for all other properties, that would be in the same category that we use, the same standard as closely as possible.
That's correct.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioner Harrington. Commissioner Belfield, does anyone else have any questions before I provide these two numbers to Commissioner Belfield? Everybody good? Okay. Commissioner Belfield, the county's number is $16,728,170 for the property, the value of this property.
Did you say 15 million?
16 million.
16.
16,728,170. Are you ready for the appellant's value?
Okay.
13,463,502.
502.
Yes, sir.
I had 506.
But you've got the numbers now. All
That's
questions.
why I wanted to.
All questions have been asked. Are we ready for a motion? Commissioner Davis, you ready to make that motion? I see you.
I'm saying I'm ready for a motion, yes, sir.
All right,
And I'll be glad to make the motion at the proper time, a motion, but
if all minds are clear, all questions have been asked, then I'm calling for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Davis.
first of all, I want to say, when we were here before, the number we had, we have now, we're about half of that number from where we were the first time. And quite frankly, I probably shouldn't do this, but I do want to apologize to Capital Broadcasting for the number we had the first time, because it was obvious in the cap rate we used that it needed work. I'm also willing to make the motion, I want to make the motion at this time that we set the value at $16,720,170. $28,000, can't even read my own writing. $16,728,170 is the motion I'd like to make to set the value of the property at this time.
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arrington. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Little, for being with us today.
Thank you all.
All right, that concludes the business before this board, so at this time, I call for a motion to adjourn the 2025 Board of Equalization and Review and reconvene the September 8th regular meeting of the Nash County Board of Commissioners.
So
Their
moved.
motion. Motion by Commissioner Wilkins, second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're now going to move, I'm going to call for a motion to go into closed session. When we come back from closed session, we will address any action items from closed session once we get commissioner comments and manager's report. So now I call for a motion to go into closed session for economic development, attorney-client privilege, and personnel.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leggett. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
I'm a little
Commissioner
confused, maybe I wasn't keeping up. We're going to go into closed session now?
Yes, sir, because we have the hospital people here, and we need to go ahead and do that.
I'm called up, sir. Thank you. I apologize.
No problem. All right, we got a motion and a second. I don't think we voted on that, so did we vote on that?
No, sir.
All right, all in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. We'll now move into closed session. I think we may have some action items coming out of closed session per a discussion I had with the manager.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, I want to call the regular meeting back to order and call on the county manager to make an agenda item regarding tax administration.
Thank you.
This is coming out of closed session.
Yes, thank you. And Ms. Wade, would you please join me? Good afternoon. In light of a recent resignation of our tax administrator, I would like to request that the board vote to make Ms. Shamika Wade our interim tax administrator.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the board appoint Shamika Wade as interim tax administrator.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wilkins, second by Commissioner, was that Leggett or?
Howell.
Howell, Commissioner Howell. All right, all in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Congratulations, Ms. Wade. Now we'll call, you want to go ahead and do the charging?
We're going to have our clerk swear her in. Here's your Bible.
Hand, raise your right hand. I
Shamika Wade,
do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as interim tax administrator, tax assessor of Nash County, North Carolina, and that I will not allow my actions as interim tax assessor of Nash County, North Carolina, to be influenced by personal or political friendships or obligations, so help me God. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ms. Wade. Now, we've got one more motion to make regarding the collection of taxes. I call on Commissioner Davis for that motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that we charge our new interim tax assessor, Ms. Wade, with the duty of collecting the taxes for calendar year 2025, moving forward.
All right, we got a motion from Commissioner Davis, collection of 2025 taxes, second by Commissioner Belfield. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Go get them, Ms. Wade.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Do we set the tax collection percentage rate now, or?
I believe Shamika's got some folks here with her.
Sure, yeah, please do. I'm sorry.
My sisters are here.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Would you like us to take a picture on this historic day?
Please.
We can certainly do that.
Yes, here he comes.
Yeah.
My mother is my biggest supporter.
He's coming out of the closet right now.
I'm gonna get out of the way so I won't be in the picture.
If y'all want to go stand
So we
there,
need to reenact her taking the oath. Should I tell them?
I think you need to tell us.
Go ahead and introduce your family members.
This is my mother. All right. This is my sister cousin Joyce. This is my sister cousin Fatima.
Glad to have all of you with us today. All right. Would the
Miss-
manager like a picture with
Mr. Chairman, could we reenact her just holding her hand up and
Sure.
the clerk giving her the,
Yeah, let her take this picture, and then we'll let the clerk reenact that. Jonathan, if you will get one more picture, they're gonna reenact the swearing in.
Miss Wade, you want your mom to hold the Bible?
That would be wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I can officially get off punishment now.
That better?
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I think now we're moving back to agenda item number 26, which is commissioner comments. Does any commissioner have any comments today? Commissioner Leggett, come back to you, Commissioner Belfield.
Okay. I would like to recognize two Nash County citizens that have recently passed away. First is Mr. Bobby Joe Fisher of the Red Oak community. Mr. Fisher was a longtime friend of agriculture and to Nash County as a whole. Bobby Joe was a devoted 4-H supporter and served our Nash County Soil and Water Board for 35 years. We will miss Bobby Joe's friendship and kindness. Also, Mr. George Winstead of the Sandy Cross community passed away last week. Mr. Winstead was a longtime public servant in our county. He served several different roles for Nash County as an employee, but most recently, he served as Nash County EMS Director. George also served as local community by volunteering with the Coopers Fire Rescue Department. I would like to express my condolences to their families of Mr. Bobby Joe Fisher and Mr. George Winstead, and I appreciate the time to recognize these two men for their dedication to our county and to remember their lives of service.
Thank you, Commissioner Leggett. Commissioner Belfield?
Oh, I'd just like to say to fellow commissioners and also the citizens of Nash County and citizens of District 2 that I will not seek re-election next year in 26. At the end of next year, I would have served 28 years. I love serving on the board. I think we accomplished a lot. during the time I served on this board. But my family situation, I think I need to give it more time and kind of scale back on other responsibilities that I have. And I enjoy working with you, and I will miss you, and I will miss being a commissioner. Citizens that have heard that I may not run have said to me, we want you to stay on there, on the board, we need you. And they even promise financial assistance, contributions rather, I'll put it that way. And I told them that I just don't see where it would be in my family's best interest for me to continue. But I'm proud of what I have done since being on the board, and I'm proud of working with all the board members, and I will certainly miss you.
Will it be 28 years
28
at the end of next year?
At the end of next year, 28 years.
Well, let's give Mr. Belfield a hand. As always, we thank you for your service, Commissioner Belfield.
Oh, sir.
Other commissioner comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Wilkins?
I don't know how I can follow that, but Mr. Belfield, I've enjoyed working with you the 4.5 years I've been here so far, so we still have till the end of 2026, so. But I just wanted to let everyone know I did attend the North Carolina Association of County Conference of County Commissioners in Greenville, 20th through the 24th. And I won't hold everybody, but I wanted to let you know who the new officers are. The president is Wallace Nelson from Hertford, North Carolina, Perquimans County. And president-elect is Alan Thomas from Hope County. And the first vice chair is Todd McNeil from Ashe County. And Shanika Thomas from Wake County is the second vice. And just briefly, I attended the North Carolina Association of Black County Commissioners Officials Scholarship and Awards Banquet. They gave 7 students scholarships ranging from $1,000 to $2,500. Attended seminar on real property appraisals, statute to solution, assures legal roles in the North Carolina RISE approach, and did an off-site tour of the African American Cultural Trail in Greenville and Pitt County. So it was a full from 8 in the morning till like 6 in the evening, 4 days. So I appreciate the county allowing me to go.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilkins. Other comments, Commissioner Arrington?
Yeah, I want to add to what Commissioner Wilkins said. We did have a recipient from Nash County that received $2,500 scholarship at that banquet. I submitted.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes, you did.
Also, I want to thank everyone who sent their condolences and the visits that I received from my fellow county commissioners during the passing of my oldest sister, Gloria Arrington. I appreciate the cards and the comments from Nash County citizens and the staff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Arrington.
Mr.
Other comments?
Mr. Chairman, just to piggyback off that, I do want to let the public know and all of us to be aware, Commissioner Arrington came to Greenville to the conference in spite of, took time away from his family to attend that conference. So I thought a lot of him for that, and I thought that was commendable. You know, he was there most of the conference and went back for that Friday evening, and of course Saturday, the funeral. So it said a lot about him.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilkins. I know Commissioner Arrington appreciates that. Other comments?
All right, thank
you. Yeah, I'd like to make one more.
Commissioner Belfield?
I attended a lot of national meetings in NECO and also our association here in North Carolina. Gained a lot of ideas, and I would suggest that it's a good time going to those meetings to talk with others about different things that are going on in the county and different things going on in the state. And you can bring back some good ideas. And I did that. And some of them were adhered to and some were not. No problem with that. But at least it gives you something to think about that might be beneficial to Nash County.
Thank you, Commissioner Belfield. Other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Davis.
I'd like to give my housing report for the month. I do have some people that like to hear those numbers, but permits this month for commercial, it was $5.3 million worth of permits issued. There were 42 new stick-built homes permits issued. There were 11 modular home permits issued. The stick-built were by 15 different builders. The modular were by 4 different builders, so we have a total of 19 builders building a total of 53 homes in Nash County. The highest modular permit issued was for $300,000. I'm still amazed each month at what those modulars run these days, and the highest stick-built home permit that was issued was $650,000. I think more importantly, I did look at zip codes this month. Out of those homes, Spring Hope had by far the most in their zip code. They had a total of 21 out of the 53 homes issued in their zip code. Nashville was second with a total of 12. Middlesex was third with a total of 7. And Bailey was fourth with a total of 5. So it was dispersed throughout the county quite a bit, but still a concentration on what would be considered the southern part of the county. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Other comments? Commissioner Howell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'd just like to start off by just thanking Commissioner Belfield for his service. I know my tenure here has been short, but I've dealt with him for many years. In the agriculture side, he's always been a face and a figure with the farmers market and has supported it full-heartedly. So thank you for your years of dedication and service, sir, for serving Nash County and its citizens. I know when I came on this board, I was passionate about EMS, and I would find it reluctant not to share a positive story that's happened here personally in the family here in the last week or so, and just to put a point to how important the EMS is. It's one of those services that if you don't think about it, you don't need it, it's not there. It's not a thought. It's something we don't look at. But last week we had a good friend of mine, very good friend of my daughter's, that's pregnant, and dialed 911. We had EMS out there in 4 minutes. So thank goodness everyone was staffed, which is the importance of having that. And they responded from Middlesex. And they actually delivered a baby on site. So we had 2 individual EMS out there, and also both my son-in-laws had to get involved. They're both first responders as well. So we actually, you never know when you need their service, but everything went well, and we were very fortunate to have the staff there, and they were qualified to do the job. So I just want to give a thank you to that, and a big shout out to the Nash County EMS team for being there when we need them. So thank you, and thank the leadership for getting the staffing up to where it needs to be. I think we're going to continue to have to face struggles with this, though, as far as growing. As the permits keep growing, we're going to have additional needs and requests as well as our numbers increase. The second thing I would like to talk about is adequate jail space is needed. And I know this has been a topic in the past, and I know we're going through some renovations on our current jail, but proper security, humane living conditions, effective management of criminal justice system, overcrowding strains those resources and endangers both the staff and the incarcerated population, leading to increased violence, health issues, and hindering rehabilitation. When jails operate beyond 100% capacity, the basic processes like sanitation, maintenance begin to break down. Staff become overworked, which can reduce necessary supervision and jeopardize the safety of both staff and the people in custody. We have continuously been overstaffed in our jail. If you look at the numbers in the report the commissioners receive daily. We're having to house them outside other areas. I know we're in the middle of renovation, and we're working on getting that complete in another phase, but our net growth in the jail is going to be very minimal at the increase in the capacity which we'll be able to house additional inmates. So I would like to see if Mr. Boone could put this on the public safety meetings agenda. This isn't something we can have one meeting and talk about and make a decision, but it's something that we need to give priority to now. As Commissioner Davis just mentioned, I mean, the permits are coming in, we're growing, and along with that growth, there's going to be an increase in incarceration just from the fact that our population's growing. So I would like to see that looked at so we can get some type of strategic plan in place to take that facility and/or plans what we're going to do in the future for the growth of the county. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Howell. Any other comments? All right, we're going to now move to agenda item number 27, the county manager's report. Madam Manager.
Thank you. I would like to report that our Pet Connection Center had an inspection today that we passed, and I just want to thank all of the staff and volunteers that have worked so hard to make improvements and to get us where we need to be. My staff and administration, as you know, have worked tirelessly on this project, and I'm just very appreciative of everybody's hard work, and I hope that we can just stay in a good place where we are right now. So thank you. I have reported to the planning director, Adam Tyson, that the Chairman Outlaw would like to have Commissioner Arrington, Commissioner Davis, and Commissioner Leggett participate on the UDO committee. Mr. Tyson is working with the Planning Board Chair, Dee Parker, to finalize the 3 steering committee members from that board, and those will be announced soon. Wednesday, several staff members and I will go to the Braswell Memorial Public Library to talk about how we can partner with them on America's 250th anniversary, which is July 4th, 2026. And I will follow up with the board and let you all know about our discussions. The town of Nashville will host an open house and ribbon cutting for their new fire station number 2, Saturday, September the 13th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The ribbon cutting will be at 11 a.m., and that location is 1520 Oak Level Road in Nashville. And just a reminder, on September the 18th and 19th, I will be out of the office at the County Risk Management Pool Planning Retreat. Build Labs will have a groundbreaking at the Nashville Business Center, October the 1st at 11 a.m., and that address is 101 Industry Court in Nashville. And we did just hear from Economic Development about a brewery that's going to have a ribbon cutting in Spring Hope, and I will bring the details of that and announce it at our September 22nd meeting. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Boone for a Southern Nash wastewater update.
Mr. Chairman, before he goes
Mr.
up, would you verify the address, that 101, because in a paper we just received, it said 111.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Manager. It's always good to get good news.
Real
Mr.
quick,
Boone?
Southern Nash Planning Grant, the committee last met on August 26th. Next meeting is scheduled for September 30th. We are expecting a draft of the preliminary engineering report shortly, and we'll be discussing it at our September 30th meeting, and also expecting a draft of the environmental impact document in October. So we're working on wrapping up that project, and then once the report is finalized, we'll be passing that back to the state for their review and comment.
Thank you, Mr. Boone. Well, we've come to the end. It's been an interesting day, but I thank everyone for their input, their comments. Now I call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Leggett, second by Commissioner Wilkins. All in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. We're now adjourned.